Hi friends, Right Careers welcomes you to another brand new video for this week. This is Sudarshan, your career coach. Now before we get on to this week's topic, the customary thing, in case you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you so much, and in case you haven't subscribed, do click on the subscription button and also the bell button for instant notifications of all videos related to parenting and career week on week. Right, moving on to this week's topic, the topic that we have taken for today or this week is careers in fashion design or fashion designing. Now, fashion design, as we know, is one of the most glamorous, sought after and a lucrative career for quite some time. It's been there for quite some time in a country like India, and it's a very glamorous and lucrative career, I should say. It opens up to a world of opportunities to people who are interested to pursue this academia. Now, fashion designing, especially in a country like India, has come a long way. From what it was as a course that catered only to an elite students or elite audience to where it is today, where even a common man or anyone can start pursuing fashion design. So fashion design is no more that elite program where only one sect of students can study. No, that's the myth. So anyone who's interested in a career in design can definitely pursue fashion designing irrespective of the social strata, I should say. Now, as a course also, as a program also, fashion designing has come a long way, because good old days 20-25 years ago, fashion designing means designing of clothes or something like that, but now it has subdivided itself beautifully. For example, today we have specializations, or rather standalone courses in designing, like footwear designing or jewelry designing or even nail designing. So you have various subdivisions inside fashion designing, but in this video we are only going to see about what fashion designing is all about, what are the career prospects of fashion designing, how do you get into good institutes to pursue fashion designing, what are those good institutes in India, and then as always the pros and cons of being a fashion designer. So that's exactly what we are going to see. So moving on, to start with, what is fashion design, or rather what do fashion designers do? Now, fashion designers design the dress and accessories that we all wear. They add the color that I'm wearing in the shirt, it's done by a fashion designer. So they add the color, they add the combinations, the combinations of dark versus bright, something like that, right? We all wear dresses with combinations, right? So that combination is actually designed by the fashion designer as far as anything that we wear. Now, in short, they are the original trendsetters or trend creators. Now today we have social media trends, anything you talk becomes trend and something like that, right? But 30-40 years ago, when this course was launched in India, they become trendsetters. So anything on fashion trend is done by fashion designers. Now a career in fashion designing makes every effort to design clothes so that it looks pleasing, it looks aesthetic, and it also looks functional. So that's exactly what a fashion designer do. To summarize, fashion designers sketch fashion ideas. So they are the ones who sketch the fashion ideas. They cut out and stitch and sew the cloth item. Sewing, they are the ones who sew the cloth item. They also use their tailoring skills to make a perfect fit. If you see, in many of the places that you see, there will be a perfect fitment of dresses, right? And that's exactly done by a fashion designer. Not only that, they also use drawing patterns to create garments. So this is exactly what a fashion designer does. Now moving on, what are the professional career opportunities for a fashion designer? As a fashion designer, you can definitely work for large manufacturing and apparel designing companies, garment designing companies basically. You can also work for garment export company. You can work for textile industry. You can work for branded fashion showrooms. You can work for textile export houses, I said. You can also work for television industry. You can also work for film industry, because film industry thrives on fashion, right? It goes hand in hand. You can work in retail chains like Aditya Birlas and Pantaloons. You can work for them designing their label. You can also become an academia. You can start teaching. If you're an expert and you're interested in teaching, you can definitely get into the academia side. It's lucrative, trust me. And then the biggest takeaway for our fashion designer is to be on their own. You can start up your own label like the Ritu Kumars and JJ Walyas. You can start your own labels and then become self-employed fashion designers. So these are some of the professional career opportunities for a fashion designer. Now, the most important aspect of this video is the skill set for a fashion designer. I told you anyone from the social strata can study this program, but it requires some kind of skills and etiquettes basically for a person to study this program. Now, what are those? The most important skill set for a fashion designer is the creativity. Now, someone has to be at their best when it comes to creativity, because this is something where your creativity or innovation will be used to its max. So that's the first trait or the skill set. The second skill set is you got to be highly research oriented. Research is not that microscope research. You got to do a lot of market research, understanding and updating of the trends, of the global trends, right? So that's something which you have to possess. You have to have a very strong eye. You also need to have a very strong drawing skills. It's important because you draw out the fashion, the trends, right? So you got to have the drawing and sketching skills, because that's when you draw the products, prototypes, and give it to the label. So that's how you require. That's why you require a drawing and strong sketching skills. You also need to have attention to detail, the listening skills of your customers, because ultimately you serve the customers, you serve the people. So you got to have that attention skill. But the most important skill that you also need to have is a business sense. Now, you might be a great creator, but unless and until you don't know how to finance it or how to market it, then there is no point in being in a profession like this. So you also need to possess a very strong business acumen and business skills. Now, where to study this program? NIFT is it's what IIT is to engineering. NIFT is for fashion. So National Institute of Fashion Technology. It's located at various places in India. You can study the undergraduate program there. You also have the government's FDDI, Footwear Design Development Institute of India, that also has fashion technology programs. And then private institutes like Symbiosis, MIT, Srishti, so on and so forth. There are various other private institutes where you can pursue this program. So which program? What is the course called? In NIFT, you have a couple of courses. You have BDis in fashion technology. You also have bachelor's in fashion technology. We call it as BF Tech, bachelor's in fashion technology, apparel production. This is a course that's offered at NIFTs. And how to get into such NIFT or private institutes? You have their own entrance examination. NIFT has its own entrance examination. Similarly, Symbiosis or MIT has their own entrance examinations, and then you can get into these institutes through those entrance examinations. You can be of any group. You need not be only from science group or commerce group. It doesn't have any such regulations or requirements. You can study any group in 11, 12 and then pursue this program. As always in our segment, the pros and cons. The pros: watching other people wear your thoughts, wearing your art and craft is something that will make you very, very happy. So nothing can beat, right? You have designed and somebody else is wearing that. That's the greatest advantage being in this profession. So once you have established yourself, sky is the limit. You will earn a lot of money. I told you it's a very lucrative profession. So there is good money associated with this. They are paid really well. Not only that, you can also be on your own. Entrepreneurship is thriving in India, so this is something where you can stand on your own, and also you get to travel a lot. You attend a lot of fashion shows, you attend a lot of road shows. So the Lakme Fashion Weeks or whatever it is, you attend everywhere. Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week. So you attend, basically, if you're a good renowned fashion designer, you travel across the globe and get to know the global trends. So these are some of the pros. As always, there are some cons associated with this. It requires a lot of hard work and a lot of long works, when it comes to designing something. It's not that easy task to set a global trend, right? If you are setting a global trend, it requires solid funda, it requires a lot of effort and hard work. It's not an easy profession. It looks glamorous, but it's definitely not an easy profession. You can also face a lot of flags and criticisms from your customers, especially when something goes wrong in a fashion show. Some of the designs we ourselves as a common man criticize, right? And that criticism will directly mount on to a fashion designer. You will have to deal with the clients who will be very, very furious in that case. It requires solid time. You got to spend a lot of time, practice, and then only you can establish yourself, as a solid fashion designer. Now the time between you proving yourself as a solid fashion designer is very, very large. So that's something which you have to be patient. Also, it's a very competitive industry. It's a very, very competitive industry, and you need to stand apart from others so that you can make a differentiation. You can make it big in this industry. Now, having said all these things, if you have the aptitude, if you have the creativity, and if you want to really change the way how the world looks at people, then this is definitely a great career for you to choose. And in case you have any doubts more further about fashion technology, you can always ping me. All the details are beneath this video. And until next Monday with another brand new video, see you all. Take care. Have a safe week. Thank you.